Everybody thinks that metaverse is all about living in virtual reality, on the internet. But is it that so? Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. And here we have Mahesh, and we invited a guest, Anmol, today to talk about what is going to happen in augmented reality. What can companies do if they know what is going to happen in future? Let's welcome Mahesh, where he's going to introduce us how our future is going to look like. Okay, Mahesh, tell us something interesting that we don't know yet. Mahesh, you're mute. Somebody solves this problem, automatically recognize that somebody's speaking, and mute
Yeah,
goes off.
yeah, sorry about that. So, yeah, today we are going to talk about augmented reality, virtual reality, and how exactly these things are actually going to look like in the future. Right now, when we think about VR, what comes to our mind? Oculus. It's like a big screen. People are totally absorbed in it. And I've seen some pictures where they say, okay, mobile phones are like one level of disaster. Everybody is, consumed by the information on their phones. But then what happens? Imagine a subway where everybody has this headset on their eyes. So it's like everybody is totally disconnected from reality.
But is
But
that
if
going
you
to happen? I mean, I can't imagine a subway where everyone is wearing headset. I mean, like this big one.
So this is very unlikely. This is not going to happen because if you look at the patents, this is not what companies have in mind. They are basically trying to build something which will be even more seamless than even carrying a mobile phone around. So essentially, it would be like the technology will be almost invisible. It will be just like these glasses that I am wearing, and that's it. That will be it.
You
And
mean more
then
like
you
Google Glasses itself when Google launched?
Yes, yes, yes. So we will look at some of the patents and see, what each of these companies are building, and then we will try to, put them all together and then see what is possible, which is not there in one patent, but combine all of them, and then what would be possible.
Oh,
So,
interesting. I can't stop. Let's go.
so I'll start by, sharing my screen. I have some cherry-picked drawings from the patents for you. So just let me know when you are able to see my screen.
I can see it. Oh, this looks like your glasses, Mahesh. Exactly like yours.
Very much like mine. So this is basically this diagram I have taken from one of the patents of Facebook. And what Facebook is working on, among other things, they are working very much on getting rid of earphones. So they want to give you uh, a VR headset, which would be basically like this, and it would show you stuff, and it will also you would also be able to listen to stuff, but there will be no explicit headphones. So the way they are going to do this is through a technology which we call as bone conduction. This is an old technique, but the sound quality that you get is not as par with the today's headphones. And what Facebook is doing is spending a lot of time, lot of effort developing hardware which basically gives you the same level of quality as you get from actual earphones. So basically how it's going to work is you will have your glasses, and then if you look at this portion, bone conduction transducer assembly, there will be this a small pad here. It will connect to your temple, and then it will transmit vibrations which you will hear as sounds. So the future VR headset is not going to be anything bulky. It will just be something which you can wear all day. So a lot of people, just like me, I keep wearing glasses all day. This is not something which I feel, I'm carrying a gadget around. And then it will be very seamless, very smooth.
Okay, hold on. So I think when Google launched Google Glasses, you could see in the glasses what is happening, but there was no like voice in it. So they are adding the voice also into the glasses. I don't know when they launched right now. I think 2 3 months back, Facebook launched with the Ray-Ban. The glasses. Does it have this voice part or no? Because I tried.
Um,
I went into a mall in Singapore recently, and there was a Bose glasses. They were only meant for listening, and they had bone conduction, but it was only for listening, right? Nothing else. So I don't know if this is there in the Ray-Ban or not.
um, Not sure, Deepak, if they have introduced the latest version or not. But yes, they are. I mean, working to make it high quality, personalized, so every person's skull and the bone structure is different, so it will be able to adapt to that. And if it's not already there, they are going to introduce it pretty soon, looking
So
at
which
from
year?
the
Which
patents.
year is this?
This is 2019. So in 2019, this patent is not on the idea itself, but it's like improvements in how this bone conduction technology works. So they are working on the refinement itself, um, not just embedding this. So embedding would be easy, but refinement is something which they are working on.
So could it be the reason like I remember when Google Glass came up, like, even Time said that it was the invention of the year, and it got many awards. So I think what Facebook is trying to do here is maybe they are focusing on the audio part first, because when you embed camera and it's always on, it kinds of it rubs people in a wrong way. I think we might have seen this previously. So I believe Facebook is trying to focus on the audio part, and maybe it can also say that the audio would be the specialty and camera is just an add-on that is attached to the equipment, because initially they want some traction. They want the people to try it out before ignoring the idea, like it happened last time. So I think they wanted to focus on the audio part first, and they'll say this is just camera is just an add-on. You should buy it for the audio to listen songs, or these kind of things. And then slowly it's kind of a wedge in the kind approach, where you go with this, and then you eventually complete the package by adding another other accessories. But yeah, interesting.
Right, right. So I think that's certainly possible, Anmol. But this is actually just the beginning, right? Imagine, you have this glass, and you are able to hear what the um, what is being spoken through these new kind of earphones. Now, one of the problems that is going to come up is if there is a lot of noise in your environment, and since this is not isolating your ear, what's going to happen is you are going to have a bad experience. So you're also going to listen to the noise, and then you are listening to the music, but it's not isolated. So we let's take a look at the next patent, which is from IBM. And what IBM is working on is your VR headset will actually be able to recognize the sounds in your surroundings, and then depending on what is the type of sound, is it something that you need to listen to? So for example, is it one of your family members calling you, then you should hear that. But rest of the sounds, for example, somebody's running a lawn mower, so you don't need to listen to that. So what it will do is it will cognitively cancel those audio signals which you do not want to listen to. And
So
if you
I think
want,
uh, uh, it's like selective noise cancellation. The system is trying to select like which noise to cancel and which noise. I mean, it is actually now detecting the noise. So, yeah.
it's recognizing the noise, and then I mean recognizing the sounds, and then it's filtering them out. So there's one example that they have given. So a person is sitting in the library, and there is a noisy bunch of students that are sitting there. So if this person wants, they can actually configure their system to also filter out all the human sounds also. So that problem will also be solved. Let's take it, one step further. So as of now, we were just, filtering out noises. Now what we are going to do is not only are we going to filter out noises, but we are also going to real time remodel the voices. So this is a patent from Microsoft. What they are doing is, um, whatever I am saying, and whatever noises that are there within my vicinity, they can be remodeled in real time to show the effects of the environment that I am in the virtual world. Let me pick the same example they have given in the patent in this drawing itself. So suppose you are playing a game, and you are in a closed space where there is a wall in front of you and there is a cave within the wall. So when you say something, not only you will hear your voice, but you will also hear the echoes that are coming from the cave. So it's like everything that the the things that you are saying, they will all you will also hear them differently. But those are recorded voices, right? So here, if I'm speaking something, first of all, I can also change how my voice sounds like. So I say something, but in real time, it will be just remodeled. So maybe if I want to why my voice to sound like Shah Rukh Khan, so then that would be possible.
So would it be like, so I'll take one example of multiplayer game where maybe we all are in a metaverse, and Mahesh is actually swimming and I'm just, standing outside the pool. So as Mahesh is speaking, so his voice may be muffled when he goes down, like, into the water, and once he comes out, it would sound different. So would it be like that, Mahesh, where I can also imagine that, you are going underwater now, you are coming out of water and these kind of things.
This is exactly one of the examples that have been given in the patent also.
I'm in a room which is creating an echo. So it will automatically create an echo in the virtual world also. You don't have to program anything like that. It will automatically take care of the
Right,
sound
right.
based on
So
the
it's
environment that
like a
you are
library,
creating.
Deepak. If I set my environment to be, okay, I'm underwater, then everything that even I say, I will not be able to hear my voice also. Somebody else is there in the room speaking, I will not be able to hear that. All of that will look.
Have it patented? I mean, because this is will happen, right? This will happen if in future, whatever time, I don't know. Uh, is this a issued patent? That means does Microsoft own this technology now? Because this looks to be very basic. I mean, in
So
the future world, if I talk about that.
Microsoft has a patent on this. um, it will not just be the concept, of course. It's like how exactly they are doing this. So they are going to segment the voice, maybe filter out some of the components and then pass them through a neural network. So um, but the idea would be like they are trying to do this.
Yeah, because Apple, when they come up with a new version of AirPod, they're trying to create like spatial sound. If you are on my left and Anmol is on the right, I will get the same. So everybody's trying to create the same sensory experience. Wherever
Yeah,
I'm going to
I
get
even I
best,
read,
I'm going to
in the
have that.
latest MacBook, what they have done is, like, if I'm speaking with say 10 people on a video call, so person who is on the left side, on the upper right corner, so when he'll speak, the that speakers will get activated. So even I don't have to scan the screen. I can, by just closing eyes, I can see that, okay, the person who is at this area is speaking. So yeah, they are working very, very, actively on the spatial audio. So uh,
That technology is not new, right? Because that is there for a very long time in the song that we hear. Because when we hear the song, some is from the left, some is from the right. It makes you feel you are actually listening to a jazz where someone is playing a piano and someone is playing, another instrument on your right. But this is not the same. I think this is not even the same. This is like one level above. where the
So
system will
maybe I can
automatically.
I'm just now extrapolating here. So would it be like, if say I, so this technology is now active and I attach it to my Fitbit band. So what it will see is that, I'm just about to go on a stage. I am, feeling nervous. My voice is shaky. So it will, detect my biometrics and it will see that, okay, now voice is going to be shaky when I'll go to stage. So it would automatically repair that things, or it will, let the other person know that, this person is maybe, in a panic mode or these kind of things. So could be these kind of signals can be attached, and these kind of things can be done.
I, th- I think I think that's the whole point of this patent. What is real, you change that, make it a different version of what I just said, and then that is what I hear, that is what everyone else hears. It could also be like, I'm in a call, I'm using a lot of filler words. It can remove all those filler words, and people will not be able to um, listen to them. So right now it can be done after I have done the recording. But what Microsoft is saying is they will be able to do this in real time. All the participants will listen to the modified version, not the original version.
So this is just like, like Google introduced the earbuds where, you can, even if you are speaking some other language, foreign language, it will translate them in a real time, and you'll listen to the English, and you can actually converse with someone who is not speaking your language. So
Right, right. This is
This
not.
technology is not that, right? I mean, if this is related to the space you are in, then this is very
Um,
different than
I
what we
would
are talking
say
about.
this is, to some extent, this is different, but the underlying concept, you take one audio signal and they replace that with another audio signal. In this case, what Anmol is saying, and this is also one of the patterns that I'm going to show next. But it replaces with an audio signal which is completely generated new, which is like in a different language, says something different. This is more like just some signal processing on the first audio signal.
Hmm.
So let's move on and keep um, get to the next patent. So zoom in a little bit to show you exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is like this is the thing that Anmol just mentioned. You go into a different country where you don't suppose I go to Germany and I don't speak German, then anybody who is speaking German will automatically be translated, and I will be able to see the captions near the person if the person is speaking to me. And if you merge this concept with the patent that we just saw, then I think we reach to that concept which Anmol just mentioned. You are speaking in English, but if I only understand, let's say, Hindi, then I will hear the same sound. I will hear the same thing in Hindi. And if I also put in, the other patent that we discussed, the Microsoft one, then it's like I'm going to not just listen to the same thing in Hindi, but also how you would speak it. So it's like the voice is yours, the words are translated, and then I'm listening to the same thing in real time.
I still think there is a. I don't know because I've used few kind of this auto translation, which gives you the translation in a manual voice. The what the problem that I faced was I could hear the translated words again spoken by human, non-robotic. I mean, it looks human, but it still lacks the emotion. That means I can sense that this guy is speaking something else and this guy is speaking something else because the tonality is very different and the emotions are not there. So if you're talking about this will get converted into a text form, it makes sense, because I'm seeing his emotions and I'm reading the text, so I can still make out. The previous one, which we saw from the Microsoft, was more on the, again, I'm saying environment. That means according to environment, it is going to change your voice. It may still, it is not working with the emotion as well, I think. I mean, it is just going to change the frequency, probably
It's
based on the environment that you are in. So,
it would be more than that, Deepak. It would be more than a simple modulation, if you say. Because previously, this technology was not there, but in the last 5 years, people have created a special form of neural networks, which they call as generative adversarial networks. So what they do is they basically copy the style of one uh, particular thing and they apply it to something else. So suppose there is a sentence, they can pick style of how you would say it versus how Anmol would say it, and they can create a two different audio versions of that. You might have seen it applied to images because that's where the idea came first, and that's where it's the most successful right now. So you have a painting that is uh, say painted by Picasso. So Picasso had a style, right? And then you can give it any other photo and it will show you how Picasso might have painted that same scene. And if you search about it online, your mind
mhm,
would be blown that it really looks like made by that artist.
mhm.
So they can extract the style from one particular signal and then apply it to anything else, and then it would be made possible.
So these things have been talked a lot, like in a fictionalized way in in books, for example, a lot in movies, a lot. You see, sci-fi movie in Netflix, you can see that your family member is dead, he comes back, he has the same emotion. You just give all the history to it.
Mhm.
People have made chatbots on GPT-3. You can talk to Elon Musk. He will sound like him. He will message like him, and all of that stuff. But what I want to know is that, because these things have been 10 years, people have been talking about it. But owning this is a very different thing, because when we talk about patent, we also talk about not just the ideas, but who owns that. And that's why I was more interested in that. Are these guys owning that technology, or we are too basic and these are just the applications that they have filed and they don't own it yet?
So
Is my question.
um, a lot of uh, these patents that I'm showing, they are granted patents, so they own this technology, although they don't own the concept as such, that nobody else can do the same thing. But nobody else can do the same thing in the same way that they are doing it. So the concepts as such, yeah, they are known for a long time. They do not own these concepts, but what they own is they have implementations or ways of doing this, which nobody can copy from them. So others would be able
Mm.
to um, do them in a different way. Like when I say different way, like technically a different approach, but they would be able to achieve the same results, still not be infringing these patents.
Mm.
So we have talked about audio so far, and right now I'm going to take you to like sideways to a different application altogether. But before that, let me ask you, like, how many senses do we have?
5. I mean, it's.
So
I've not thought
this is
about it.
this is
5
like
came to mind.
the generally how we think about sense, right? We are taught that we have five senses, and this idea first came from like this is a 2,000-year-old idea. Aristotle first said, we have five senses, but the if you look at the latest literature, it's like scientists recognize we have more than five senses. One of those senses is the sense of balance. So even if we are not seeing anything, even if we are not touching, tasting, smelling anything, not hearing anything, we still have a feeling of which is the how our bodies are balanced. So it's like, okay, this is the down direction.
Hmm.
Okay, this is how my head is tilted right now. And this sense of balance is something which um, creates a lot of problem when you give people a VR headset. So suppose you are doing a roller coaster ride, right?
Yeah, yeah, I know. I mean, there was a very big experiment. I mean, experiment what? NASA does this before sending astronaut. They have to recalibrate their sense of balance. Even
Yes,
when they come back, also, I guess they have to spend time. So I agree. I don't know if this was called as a sense of balance, but
yes, yes.
astronauts were trained in
So
this.
it's the same thing. What happens in VR is, suppose you are on a roller coaster, and then you see that you are going up and down, but your sense of balance is saying you're sitting idle. You are not moving anywhere. So there's this disconnect between what you are seeing and what you are feeling, and that's
Yeah.
where people are building technology where you will be um, actually be able to feel that you are going up or you are going down, and you are not this way, you are this way.
Yeah,
So
this is a big problem. I mean, yeah, this is a problem. That's why most of the people, when they wear it creates like the anxiety, or they do not like it. They feel uncomfortable basically. So technology makes them uncomfortable, and or it takes some time to wear the headset and play that particular game.
right.
So I agree. This is a big problem.
So
I'm sure a lot of
Samsung is
people will
one
be
of the
working on it.
companies that is working on it. um, and the way you sense this balance is through a small organ that you have in your ear. In both of your ears you have three kind of canals which are oriented in such a way which looks engineered, because one is along the x-axis, one is along the y, and one is along the z-axis. And they give you a, a sense of is your head like this, is your head like this, is your head like this. What Samsung is trying to do is it is creating a band which will basically stimulate from the outside that organ artificially. And depending on the kind of signals that it is applying, you will not be able to sense them directly, but you will be able to feel as if your head is tilted right now. So it's like
I don't understand. What you'll wear
you
and
will
they will
not
tell
be
you do
you will
like this, do
not
like
be
that. I mean,
moving your head, but you will feel like your entire body is kind of tilted sideways.
I don't want this device to be ever hacked by someone. I'm just sitting and he's just doing things like.
that's really crazy, and I don't understand why Samsung is doing this. I mean, Samsung is a phone company, electronics company. I mean, they make televisions. They make. Sorry. I mean, they do everything. I should change the stuff. But why they are doing this? I mean, this is. Are they going to use
Most
this in some of
likely.
their
So
product?
they are doing this in this diagram. You can see when you accelerate your car, they want to give you a feeling that okay, the car is accelerating, and that you will be able to feel through this device. So again, this is a hack.
This is a hack, right?
I mean,
Your brain
I'm
could be. Oh no! I mean, I don't think such things should come up. I mean, because it can, if you are recalibrated in a different way, right? In the real world, you will feel that I'm not feeling
yeah.
how I should be feeling. This is a bad use of technology,
I
or I'm
think
thinking in a
Deepak,
wrong
it's
way.
like our our screens, our earphones. They are all hacks, right? It's not like the sound source is really there. It's like they create these signals and you feel them. So this is
Yeah, but I know that you are not here. But this will make
yes.
me feel that I'm like tilted.
So
That's
if they
what is
want
the
to make you
problem. And
feel
that's
you are upside down, you will feel okay. I'm upside down,
oh no.
right?
Even though I might be like lying on my bed.
So I just want to feel like I'm resting on my chair while in office. So I'll just activate this band and it will feel like I'm laying down on a bed. Would that work, Mesh?
Should it should I hope it would.
Mm. I mean, sense of balance means what? It
Sense
can
of
make
balance
you.
is basically if you
Eh,
close your eyes, okay, if you're complete, even if you are completely isolated from everything else, you still feel, okay, gravity is this side, I'm falling this side. What happens, for example, when you as children, we used to play this game, we used to go round and round, and then we used to stop. Everything felt like it was still spinning, right? So we used to do that for that effect. Now
yeah.
you would be able to feel everything is spinning, or everything is tilted this way, or everything is tilted that way, without it
So it
can
can
be
Yeah,
make
it,
people
it
high
looks like
also.
a sounds like a psychedelic kind of a thing now.
I mean, but according to me, I've seen that whenever any new technology comes up, these are the people, whether it is like drugs, porn, or these are the one which introduced the first, even military. So is this somebody using it right now? I mean, if I search, will I get something? Because people would have figured out by technology
so
you can make somebody
so
think like
basically,
that.
right
So
now this technology is being used in medical conditions where people, they have undergone some surgery of their ear, and they have to regain that, they have to retrain their sense of balance. So these devices are used over there, not in any uh, consumer items, as far as I know, but they do work, in those settings.
this is a crazy technology. I want, but I don't want to come. I
It's a
don't
little
want it to
scary.
launch.
I
So
mean,
one day it would be like, do you accept our
Yeah.
terms and condition? Nod your head, and this will ban do the work. So I nodded and I actually accept those terms and conditions.
yeah. So that was all
Okay.
from my side today.
Crazy stuff. Mahesh, over the weekend you have like it's 5:30 right now, and I'm now like I've just woken up and refreshed with my brain has gone from left to right. So I can't.
So one
Uh,
interesting pattern that I have noticed is
I
like,
thought I'm not good.
how for first it went like, everything was going larger in size. Like, initially we had small screens, then, it was big screens, 5-inch phones, and now it's going in the reverse direction where technology is kind of not visible. It's kind of evaporating, but it's still there. So I can see, these electric signals. You wear normal glasses, it will project things. So I think in future technology will totally be merged. I mean, it kind of become, it will be invisible, but you'll be still be able to feel, and it will be part of your body kind of thing. It will be so deep into us, I think.
And I think when people will not be using technology, they will
Yeah.
feel much more disabled than we do right now, right?
Mm. Yeah, yeah, I agree. All right. Thank you very much, guys, for sharing this. Thank you, Anmol, for coming up and sharing your crazy ideas. Augmented reality, I thought this is like an old style and Oculus way, but this future looks crazy. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. We talk about this futuristic technology, and the main aim is that in whichever company you are, you can try to look at what patents companies are filing, what they're researching, and learn from that. And these looks to be too much futuristic, but sometimes the patents also include the technology that are just 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years in there. We can look at it and directly implement or take inspiration from it and apply in your own products. That means the product of your company. So if you want to hear more such crazy stories, you can subscribe or you like, and then we can talk more about the crazy stuff. Thank you very much for joining. Let's connect again with one new technology. Thank you very much. Bye bye.